Yes, good evening and welcome to the first episode of the Commissioner's Lounge. My name is Sonny Tyre and I'm joined here with a good mate of mine, Riley Murray. And Riley, we're here for the first ep of this potty. Get a bit of hype going for round one, which kicks off tomorrow. Although, if you're watching this on YouTube, then it'll be kicking off today. So, exciting times ahead. And yeah, what are your thoughts ahead of the season?
Yeah, well, it's a very exciting season. I'm hoping that we remember to upload this podcast, unlike the last one that we did. But this is an exciting season. A lot of changes throughout the teams, and just seems like it's going to be a very competitive one this season.
Yeah, that was the incompetence of Will K not checking his DMs. The reason why we didn't get that last potty out there. But yeah, we're doing something new here. We're actually recording this live for our Patreon supporters. So big shout out to Anthony McDonald, Kaya Foa, and Carl Lewis that are currently with us. We'll get some comments and questions from them. We might even get some words, get them to jump on the mic later on in the show. We'll see how we go. But yeah, season 9, it's finally here. It's back. We've got a new team, the new boys on the block, the West Tigers. And that leads us into our first game of round 1, kicking off tomorrow, 5 p.m. Australian Eastern Daylight Time, 4 p.m. Queensland, and 7 in New Zealand. It'll be the West Tigers taking on the Brizzy Broncos at Leichhardt Oval. And we'll quickly run through the team list. I'll start with the visitors here, Riley, and I'll let you go through your boys. But for the Bronx, number 1, fullback Tyrone Clay making his debut for the club. Be interesting to see how he goes there. Number 2, on the wing, Earl Ray Romano. Number 3, David Nofalingawe. Both both making their Broncos debuts in this game as well, alongside Anthony Lee, the rookie, who's slotted at right centre at number 4. Dylan Sharp, the veteran, on the right wing at number 5. In the halves, you've got Isaac Edwards at 5'8", John Baker's at 7. In the forwards, you've got Anthony McDonald, the captain, at 8. Eddie Oliver at 9, playing hooker. The unit Caleb Jeff, they're pairing with his captain at number 10 in the front row. And second row pairing of Colvin Walmsley and Cody Ogg, both making their Broncos debuts as well. That's going to be a show to watch, those two. They're really good. Some of the best second rowers in the league, could even say. And rounding it off is Luke Short. They're at the 13th spot. On the bench, you've got Tuxie Ogg, Mario McEnroe, Sonny Sharp, and Kyan Walker. Very impressive team. I'll get to it in a second, but Riley, I'll let you run down your team list for the West Tigers.
Yeah, thank you, Sonny. First off, we got one of the greatest that ever did it, Eli Barnes, out there at the back of that number 1 jersey. Cyrus Marks is coming in to play wing for the Tigers. Very excited for that one. We got a centers pairing of Brown, Zachary Brown, and Maliaki. Both Broncos boys I've poached from him a little bit, and
Kind of.
yeah, they're looking they got just a little bit. Just I do a little bit of poaching. But yeah, they're looking strong, looking ready. On the wing, the other wing, we've got Ben O'Donnell, right winger. Stole him from the Rabbitohs. Might just shout out every team that I stole players from. That might be something good. Sione Matthews and Luke Thompson in the halves pairing each other. Very excited for that. Got the boy from Penrith and Canberra. Thompson is a long time Canberra player, but stolen him as well. Not the last time you'll hear me stealing Canberra boy on this team list. David Barner, just one of the all-time front rowers. Stole him from the Warriors. John McCartney's still not happy with me about that one.
Oh no.
Mav Keller, yeah, Mav Keller, starting hooker for us. Very very excited about this one. Big Mav, he's a former Hog, very good player. Stole him from the Dolphins. That's the only one from the Dolphins though. You're welcome, Snicko. Uh, at 10, we got myself. Not sure why he's made it to the
Boo.
starting. I'm not sure how he finessed his way into the starting side. Lachlan McKinnon, he won't let us lose. Over there in that second row, he's going to be making his debut in the second row. He hasn't actually played there yet in the SRL. Pairing him, he's got Ash Crutcher on the other second row. And locking us up at lock is Tim James, right there in that 13 jersey. And moving on to the bench, you got Sam Lillard, just classy player, stole him from the Broncos as well. Jeff Keane, Tigers captain in the mines. He's the GOAT. I know that KFL was wondering if he was the GOAT. Well, he is. Rossini, good old Charlie Rossini, stole him from the Raiders as well. Great hooker, looking to make a lot of impact off the bench. And tying us off is Nathan Haas. He's a strong player from the Bears in the mines,
Yeah,
making his debut in the SRL too.
special mentions to Sneeko, Rainer, Driscoll, and Lonnie Lawrence who have just joined us. Sneeko, we're going to open the floor a bit later in the show, so if you stick around, then we'll get you on here. And yeah, we'll get the insights of some of the captains that are currently in the chat. But Tigers Broncos, it's the first game of the season to open up at Leichhardt. I'll start with the Broncos here. I like their forward pack. I like what they've done with the second row of Walmsley and Cody Ogg. I think injecting that speed there at the right second row, that's going to be a step up for them. I think Kevin Walmsley had a breakout season in season 8, playing for the Seagulls. He also played for the Blues and the Kangaroos, I believe. So they've got some good experience there. Luke Short to round it off at lock. Anthony McDonald and Caleb Jeff to pack the punch through the middle. I'm not too sure on the back line. I haven't seen too much of Ray Romano. I haven't seen too much of Nofalingawi. I know he's coming from the Knights, and they've got the rookie and Anthony Lee there. So that'll be interesting. I like that they've got Tyrone Clay. I think that's going to be a big signing for them. And that fullback spot last season for the Broncos, there was a bit of a mix and match between Manu and Justin Plays. So they've got a new fullback there. It's going to be a new look backline for the Bronx, but pretty impressed with what I'm seeing. And yeah, what's your thoughts on the Broncos?
Yeah, well, touching on that backline, I actually didn't think about that, but yeah, fully new look backline. Only player in that back five that's that was at the Broncos last season is Dylan Sharp, and it's pretty exciting to see. It's almost like a whole new team here. Uh, Dylan Sharp, been a great player in patches. I'd love to see him make some form. I reckon with how he plays, sometimes he could definitely get himself a winger of the season or some sort of award like that because he can really show up sometimes and be a great player. Davo Nofalingawi, he was really good in the preseason tournament. I'm very excited to see how he goes. And Ray Romano, I'm very keen to see how he goes on the wing. He was a great center for the Panthers last season, so I'm very keen to see how he goes. I'm a big fan of Ray Romano. He's actually a blue tongue, so if you're wondering why he's so great. Walmsley at the left second row. I kind of like that, if I'm being honest. I know that there's always questions if you should put that 99 speed second rower on the left or right, but Walmsley is just so powerful on that left side. I'm happy to see him over there, so he can just keep on getting through that work that he was getting through for the Blues, for Seagulls. He's just been really good in that left second row, so I'm glad to see he's keeping that spot. And of course, their halves have always been pretty solid. Isaac Edwards, he had a great season last year, and let's hope they can just kind of keep that form up. Luke Short as well, once again a great season last year. Um, Excited to see if he can kind of keep that sort of mentality, keep that energy they had. And of course, Amac and Caleb Jeff, they're just two great front rowers. Really tops off this team. I think the Broncos are a very strong team. I'm excited to be versing them in round 1.
Yeah, and you're gonna have the privilege to run it straight at AMAC for most of the game from the look of these team lists. But I like their bench as well. Lots of depth there. Tuxiog, Mario McEnroe, Sonny Sharp, and Kyan Walker. That's a lot of experience coming off the bench for them. So very good look for the Broncos. We'll take a look at your boys, the Tigers. I'll give my opinion, Riley. Damn, that's a pretty
Yeah, you
good
don't want
team, man.
mine.
They go alright, huh? I'm sure Canberra will not be too pleased with when they look at your team list, but you've put together a stacked side. You got Eli Barnes here at the fullback spot, one of the best fullbacks in the SRL. Maybe a bit quiet last season, but albeit the team, the Raiders, they struggled as well. So who knows? A new scene could be good for him. But you've got Ben O'Donnell there at the right wing alongside Cyrus Marks. You know how I feel about Cyrus playing wing. I'm not sure if he's ready to crack onto it yet, but you've shown him faith. So for Maroon's sake, I hope he actually has a blinder this season. Zach Brown and Maliaki, two experienced centers there. I like that. Sonny Mataos, was big on him last season, especially when he had that breakout game against the Wires for Penrith. So I'm interested to see how he goes. You got Barner, yourself, Lockie McKinnon, Ash Crutcher, and Tim James. A lot of speed through that forward pack. But yeah, in your opinion, where's this game going to be won and lost? And what do you think we got to look out for, or who should we look out for from the Tigers?
It's hard for me to say where I'll be won and lost as the captain. I'd hope that we can try and really just work our way down the field through the middle. I think that forward pack is great. I think the Broncos are too, but gotta hold some faith in the boys. Hope that that speed that we have can just kind of get us through there. And yeah, I'm confident in Eli Barnes as well. He's just a great player. I'm hoping that he can have a great one too.
And what's your tips? I'll get mine out of the way. I've gone Tigers 1-8, but the majority of punters on the Muzbet have gone with Tigers 9-18, 57 votes, 41%. What do you got?
I think I went with the Sheeple Tigers 9-18. But yeah, I think I was the trendsetter there. But yeah, I can't bet against my own team. Just gotta back the boys. Really, that's what I gotta do.
All right, don't miss that one. That'll be the first game kicking off tomorrow or today if you're listening on YouTube at 5 o'clock on SRL TV. We'll move on to the next game following that. 6 p.m. It'll be the Canberra Raiders taking on the Auckland Warriors. And what a game that's going to be. The new look Raiders with their new captain in Wally Allen. He'll be leading the new era of the Green Machine against the side that went all the way to the prelims. Heartbreakingly short of a potential grand final berth, but the Warriors, Riley, we saw what they did in the preseason. There's a lot of hype around what they're going to be able to do this season. We'll quickly go through their team list. Number 1, their captain, Chance Bunce. Number 2, left wing, Marcus Square. Number 3, Hornet King, making his Warriors debut. Shout out to the brother. Number 4, Aaron White at right centre. Number 5, Josh Saddlecart, right wing. Number 6, vice captain, John McCartney. Number 7, Rohan Kaval at halfback. Number 8, Big Rex Slattery. He returns to the SRL and he returns back to NZ, and he'll be donning the colours of the Wars. Can't wait to see him get back in there and rip in. Number 9, Lachlan Lockyer at hooker. Number 10, Joe Turner Jr. 11, you've got DTA, David Tower. Number 12, Logan Strange. Number 13, Paddy Corcoran. They're at lock. Number 14, you've got Ginger Pom, Matthew Turner at 15, Nick Curfey at 16, and Lincoln Riggle at 17. I'll get your thoughts on that wild side, Riley, but we'll quickly go through the Raiders as well. Number 1, Riley Flynn at fullback. Number 2, left wing, Xavier Armando. Number 3, left centre, Josh Jensen, making his Raiders debut, I think. Latrell Bolt, number 4. The rookie is going to be slotting in at right centre. And number 5, on the right wing, it's Jason Lomu. Number 6, Sam Herban. Big Sammy Herban, he returns. The great man. Number 7, Dane Blaine there at halfback. Number 8, their former captain for the Raiders, Jordan Lewis. They're in the front row alongside Alan Berkeley at hooker. Number 10, Rahul Kaval will be there at the right prop position. 11, you've got Jacob Morrison, returns back to Canberra. Number 12, their captain, Wally Allen. And 13, Lennox Prakash, who's going to be playing lock for this Raiders side. On the bench, you've got 14, Preston Beat, 15, Harry Cheddar, 16, Liam Schrodinger, and 17, Liam Evans. We'll start with this Warriors side, Riley. How you expect them to go this season? How you think they're going to do in this game?
I feel like you'd expect them to go pretty well. They're a very solid team. They were last season at least, and this preseason they had a very impressive run. I think they actually won the whole thing. But I'm pretty sure they actually beat your boys, Sonny, in the grand final, if I'm not mistaken. But
Yep.
yeah, they've got
You just had to remind me,
they
didn't
got
you?
some they got some great players here. Look, they've got somehow finessed Horne King to play in the centers. I'm not sure how they've done that. Aaron White, he's a bit of a staple in this back line. He's a great center as well, and Marcus Square still doing his thing on that wing. As well as Saddlecart. Look, it's a great back line. Bunsey, you can never count him out. You'd expect that this Warriors side goes really well this season, and you'd expect them to maybe just have the edge over this Raiders team as well, just with their experience. But you never know. Like upsets, they love to happen in the SRL. But I think that you can't look past the Warriors in this one.
Yeah, nah, they look very strong in the preseason. Despite my attempts to try and um, salvage the game with the subs. No, I'm joking. I'm joking. I was just, yeah, I was off the ball that night. I was caught lacking. Poor captaincy, but yeah, the Wise. You got to expect them to have a deep run this season. They've only lost a couple players, and you took one of them. So yeah, good luck dealing with that. The aftermath of that one. But no, we look at the Raiders, and funnily enough, they've only got 5 silvers heading into this season, so you got to feel a bit bad for them. But that forward pack is still very formidable, especially when you got Jacob Morrison there at the left second row spot. He's going to bring a lot of speed there. Lennox Prakash is going to bring a lot of punch through the middle at lock. Lewis and Caval there in the props. I mean, they've got good forwards in the trenches. It's a new look halves pairing with Sam Herbert and Dane Blaine. It will be interesting to see how that goes. The back line, it's solid. Um, it's not the best back line, but they've got strong wingers and they've got a strong fullback, which is really what you need in a back line. But yeah, you know, I'm wishing the Raiders all the best. I hope they go well. I just don't know if they'll be able to compete, but we'll have to wait and see. Like you said, anything can happen on the day, and it'll be crazy if they get a win over the Waz. But we'll go ahead and have a look through the Muzbets. Riley, do you remember what you took?
Um, for the Muzbet
For Raiders and
or for
Warriors?
the ah, had me a bit confused there. I'll quickly take a look at it. I've
Don't get me
actually gone
started on the
Warriors 9
Muzbets.
to 18. We'll touch on that when we get to the Sharks.
So you got on Wires
Uh,
918?
yeah, with the
Yep.
Sheeple again.
Yeah, I went 9 to 18. I've also the Warriors 9 to 18. It's the most
Oh wait,
popular,
actually, I've
86
gone
votes.
19 plus. I'm sorry, I've gone 19 plus.
Oh,
Uh,
oh, there you go.
that's on me. That one's on me.
Riley's
Uh,
predicting a shellacking. Yeah, the most popular bet
I guess
is
so.
was 9 to 18. I mean, you can't blame him. Like, that's just the record, the form that they're in. They got 86 votes with 62% of punters jumping on Wires 9 to 18. So that one will be the second game on Monday, opening up your round one clash. And we'll move on to your Monday night football game at 7 o'clock Australian Eastern Daylight Time. It will be the Cowboys taking on the Bulldogs in Townsville, and that's going to be a huge match. These two produced the best game of the season last season when they played in Samoa, I think it was even. But we'll take a look through the lineups. We'll start with the home side. For the Cowboys, it's number 1, who else? Chaz Dingo at fullback. Number 2, Caleb J. There at left wing. Number 3, Tyreek Hamilton, the rookie making his debut. Number 4, right center, you've got Lucas Deuce. Number 5, right wing, you've got Lenny Phillips. Number 6, you've got the mighty Jack Hale making his return, or Jack Cole. Sorry, sorry, Jack. It's Jack
Cahill,
Cole.
Cahill,
Jack Cole.
Jack
Jack
Cahill,
Cole.
the
He's
captain.
back. The Prince of Townsville. He's back in Cowboys colours, and he's doing the pairing alongside Blake Harrison, the halves, your former teammate Riley, and of course Blake Harris, another Townsville product. So he returns to his home, playing for the home club. Number 8, Justin Monkey, the captain, alongside Daniel Engo in the props with Tom Jameson at number 9. You've got Callum Murray there at left second row at 11, Eddie Devon at 12, and Simon Hunt in at lock to round off the forward pack. On the bench, you've got Jake Scott, 15 Jordan Williams, 16 Jordan Marshall, and 17 Josh Pretlove. Muzz, you want to go through the Dogs team list?
Sure thing, Sonny. We've got at fullback the one and only Tatero Maxwell. He's just been a great fullback for them for a number of seasons now. He's really come into his own and made this Bulldogs team his home almost. He's just a great player. I love to see how he goes once again this season. Slugger, Blue Tongue Legacy over there on the wing. Metcalf and Columbus, the centers for the Bulldogs. Both two pretty good players making their club debut as well. And then we got Cambolo making his debut as well on the wing for the Bulldogs. Then the halves pairings of Daniel Hellier and Joseph Jackson. Very keen to see how Hellier goes. is one of the top halves last season, and I reckon he's set for another good one. At 8, we have Kobe Johnston. Sorry, I always get that mixed up there. But man, he was destructive when he was in that 8 jersey last season. I love that he's back there. Very keen to see how he goes there as well. Once again, Thomas Wallace moving back into that hooker position. Look, he's a bit of a player that can really play anywhere and do a real good job. So you can never really be mad when he's anywhere on the field. As long as he's on the field, you're happy. You got Nemina over there at that 10 jersey as well. Filippo Gould's managed to grab himself a starting spot over at that second row. Hodgson pairing him as well in the other second row. Damien Moana moving himself to lock once again this season, captaining and goal kicking. So it looks like we'll get Maxwell actually goal kicking sometime in the second half once Moana comes off. Then off the bench, you got old reliable Jack Tedesco. Man, he must love it at the Bulldogs. They must be feeding him something because he does not care how many minutes he gets. He's just happy to be around the boys.
You
You
need
got
boys like
Is
that.
Willis.
Just do the
You need exactly do the hard job really.
the
Those are
gutter
the
job, the
those are
job
the
no
real
one wants.
players. Yeah, exactly. Us Willis back at it again, making her debut for the club. It's my other debut in SRL completely actually, and also the vice captain Tony Tanihi making his debut in the SRL as well.
Yeah, big shout out to Tony. He's been thrusted into the deep end, like quite literally. You don't. I mean, it's rare that we've ever seen. I think this is the first time someone's been promoted from mine straight to vice captaincy. So Damien's seen a lot of potential in this bloke, and it'll be interesting to see how that all develops. But the Bulldogs looking relatively the same from last season. I think they only lost a couple players, and I couldn't name who they brought on. So, I mean, obviously they've promoted My and Tony Tornahy, so maybe that was the two signings. There could have been more. I should really be more on the ball, but yeah, they're the defending champs, the defending premiers. They've got a tough task against the Cowboys, and this Cowboys outfit very solid. I love the halves pairing of Carl and Harris there. Their forwards. They got Simon Hunt playing out lock. I reckon he'll go alright there. He played a stint for Pacifica in that position. Eddie Devon at 12, Callum Murray at 11. They've got Engo coming through from the Waz. There to pair up with Justin Monkey. A lot of depth on their bench as well. Jake Scott, Jordan Williams, and Jordan Marshall, all very experienced. Josh Pretlove making his debut for SRL first grade. Gonna be a tough game. It's really hard to split who's gonna come out on top with this one. I feel like it's gonna be close. I'll take a look at the Muzz bets, but I think I've gone dogs 1 to 8, and yep, I've gone dogs 1 to 8 for this one. Muzz, what did you go?
Um, I'm not too sure. Hold on, let me have a cheeky look here. I've gone Bulldogs 1 to 8.
Oh, copycat. Well, the most popular
Yep,
vote was
copycat.
the Bulldogs 9 to 18, which had 69 votes. Nice. 49% of the punters jumping on that one. That'll be your first Monday night football game. Cowboys and Bulldogs. That's going to be an intense game. Could potentially be two top 4 teams. If we go off last season's form, then yeah, they'll be looking up to back up this season with another good season, a deep run into the finals. And that'll headline your Monday night footy. We'll move on to the next games on Tuesday. Let's get into the meat of the pie, shall we? It'll be the Penrith Panthers. No, sorry, the Gold Coast Titans. Jeez, I went way down. I was way ahead. The Gold Coast Titans opening up at home against the Newcastle Knights. It's the former Titan Mike Borson's leading his Newy side. We'll start with the home side for the Titans. At fullback, number 1, Nathan O'Donnell. Number 2, left wing, Corey Goetz. Number 3, left centre, Harris Andrews. Number 4, Dylan Murray. Number 5, Justin Dolan at the right wing to round off their back line. In the halves, you've got Liam Ryan at number 6, Michael McCluckey at number 7 and halfback. I think he's going to carve up there. Then in the forwards, you've got Hayden Davis and Bruce Buckley in the front row with Matty Vaughan playing in that hooker, the former Newcastle Knight as well. Number 11, second row, we've got Christian McKay, the freak. Number 12, Liam Rogers, their captain. His first game as captain for the Titans, so it'll be a big one for him. And you've got Mark Lee there at the lock spot to round it off. 14, off the bench, we've got Cameron Honeyman. 15, big shout out to the bro, Carl Lewis, making his, I think it's his debut in first grade. They haven't connotated it here. Maybe slack commissioner work. 16, they've got Jerome Daly, and 17, Alistair Russell to round off their bench. Muzz, you want to run through the Newcastle side?
Yeah, sure thing. We got our reliable Dom Dom Pungston. I nearly said Dung Pungston. Poor guy. Uh,
I'm telling him. I'm telling him what you
over
think.
there. My bad, Dom. Um, over at fullback, he's just so reliable for them. He's been there basically, I think his whole career. And once again, he's taken a step back from leadership, but still in the team under new ruling under Mike Borson's. Very keen to see how he goes. Miko Rashford, he's he nearly dipped on them, but he came back very soundly. Joey June running it back for another season with the Newcastle Knights. Bradley Parks making his debut at the centre position as well. Lee Simon moving from the Warriors all the way down to Newcastle, playing the wing for them, which is it's a nice little thing for him. He's kind of struggled to break that wing position and make it his own. Let's see if he can hopefully just take this Newcastle Knights spot here that he's earned and keep it. I'm very excited to see how Lee goes this season. The halves, we got Butterfield, Mike Borsons. You gotta love Mike Borsons. He's just one of the best halfbacks in the league. He did it all last season. You know, did it for the Blues. I'm pretty sure he won the Sim VP at um, halfback, so that's pretty exciting. Then we got Koda Diab starting at 8. That's pretty. It's a bit surprising actually. If I'm being honest with you, Sonny. We'll touch more on all that stuff after. But Bo Sadler hooker, Dan Punch 10, Luke Driscoll playing second row and the left second row actually this season, which is also surprising. Alex Christie making his way into the second row as well. Also surprising. I know they wants to play in the second row. He wants those minutes, and glad that he's managed to find that. We got John Nanhai as well, making his way into that lock jersey this season. On the bench, you got Nathan Anderson, Van Dishwasher, one of the names of the league. Nathan Macquarie making his debut for the Knights, and Kayla Talangi also making his debut off the bench.
Yeah, I forgot to mention too, Luke Driscoll, the former Titan, the new vice captain for Newcastle. So it's a new look leadership, a new regime, um, and it'll be interesting to see how they go. There was a bit of fake news going around in the preseason that Dom Pongston could be playing in the halves, but yeah, that was just obviously all hype. He's there at the one spot where he belongs. The Knights, they do have a lot of prop primaries. Um, that's a bit of a concern to me. I've tried that strat and it didn't work the way I wanted to. So maybe Mike can find the formula to try and make that work for them. But they've still got a very solid forward pack. They've got Daniel Punch coming in from the Roosters, Luke Driscoll from the Titans. They got John Nanai shifting out to lock. We could probably put the money that he's going to be playing 75 minutes, and I think that's the way they should go. He's the danger man through the middle, so you get him leading the way, and yeah, and go a long way for them. For the Titans, it's a relatively still the same side. New captaincy, obviously, Liam Rogers. He spoke about how proud and excited he is to be leading this Goldie side, and can't wait to see what he can do with them. They've got Mark Lee playing out lock. I thought he was great playing out hooker last season, and he played hooker for the Kangaroos in the Six Nations, and he tore up when he came off the bench in the second half. He was just killing it out there. So yeah, I'm very interested to see how they go. I don't know about Christian McKay playing at second row. I like him better in the front row at the props because man, he bro is a wrecking machine when he plays through there. But I remember in Origin Season 7 when we played Luke Malkus in second row at 11 and he just killed it. I mean, geez, probably had 10 line breaks, if that, probably more. So you never know. Those types of things, they could work in their favor. But we'll take a look at the tips and see where the punters have gone for this one. And let me scroll down. So I've taken Titans 9 to 18. I thought I went 1 to... Did I go 1 to 8? No, I went Titans 9 to 18. Muzz, what did you go?
Yeah, I followed you. I think you copied me actually.
Bro,
I've
come on,
gone
man.
Titans 9 to 18. I'm sorry,
Nah,
Mike.
yeah, sorry, Mike. It's nothing personal. It's just, uh, yeah, I don't want to risk my money on it or the money that we could win from this. But it's pretty tight. The majority of punters have the Titans winning. The most popular one being Titans 1 to 8 with 60 votes, 42% of punters jumping on that one. So it'll be a big game, bit of a grudge match between Mike Borson's facing his old club and the New Look Titans under Liam Rogers. That'll be the first game to kick off your um, Tuesday evening games. And coming up after that, I know Sneako's gonna love this one. It'll be the Roosters taking on the Dolphins at Allianz Stadium, and what a game that's gonna be! That's gonna be an absolute battle. And we'll take a look at the lineups. We'll start with the home side, the Sydney Roosters. At number one, fullback Cody Mansell making the way from Penrith to the eastern suburbs, and he'll be their new look fullback. That's been the position where there's been the most question marks for the Roosters, and now it seems like they've got their answer. So Tyler Weston playing at left wing at number two, number three on the left centre, Beck Goodwin. Number four, right centre, Rain O'Driscoll making his first grade debut. Good on ya. Number five, right wing, Marshall Edwards to round it off. Number six in the halves, Ethan Goodwin alongside Blair Curtin. They're in the halfback spot. Number eight, Milo Kerrigan playing at left prop. Number nine, Bailey Wilson at hooker. Number 10, right prop, Brad Goodwin to round off the trenches through the middle. Uh, in the second row, number 11, Chad Johnson, the former Penrith Panther. So a couple of Panthers in this new look Roosters side. Hayden Miller, they're at number 12 with Matty Harris, the captain, rounding off at 13 in the lock position. Off the bench, number 14, Lachlan Tierney. Number 15, Riley Holmes. Number 16, Jasper Goodwin. And number 17, poor old Jimmy Ralph. He's still there on the bench, but he's still here. So, Muzz, I'll let you run through the Dolphins team sheet.
All right. Well, at the back we got Amatangi's signed up for another season with the Dolphins after coming there last season and having a really good stint with them. I'm excited to see what he can do on his second season with the Finns. It's pretty exciting. On the wing, Seymour. And I'm actually looking through this team. I'm not sure if Will has made a mistake or if there is just nobody making their club or SRL debut on this team. So I'm not sure if there's a mistake there. Maybe Nico can shine some light on it. But
I
um,
think he's called up a couple Mines players, like dev players. I think Buster Groove
yeah.
might have been
So
one.
so it is. Yeah, Buster Groove and Speedman both on their debut. Will's just missed the asterisks there.
Oh,
But
yeah. Typical Will.
not to worry. At the end of the day, it's just an asterisk. But yeah, big congrats on them. Seymour on the wing, Speedman debuting at center, Hustler also at center. We got Chapman over on the wing as well in that number 5 jersey. We got Hugh Snow and Ole both in the halves once again for the Dolphins. Excited to see what they can do in this second season for the Dolphins. Um, moving on to the forwards, we got Stace to Pace, or as Sonny likes to call him, Starkey to Parquet. And
The Pacho. This will make sense tomorrow when you watch the game.
Kieran Wells playing at 9 and goal kicking as well, which is that's always fun. Snicko Bro starting 10. Diego Markazi over at that 11 spot. Lachlan Cox once again over at 12 in the second row. Chris Lord, of course he is there. Over at lock. Love Chris Lord. One of the great locks in our game. Moving on to the bench. Buster Groove making his debut in the 14 jersey. Zachariah Segarini at 15. Declan Connell running it back at 16. Not sure how long he's got at the Dolphins. I'm not sure if he's been upgrading or not, but He's hoping that he is upgrading. Gotta love good old Declan Connell. And 17 finishing us off is the one and only Shaq Attack.
Yeah, I got PTSD when you said upgrading, but we'll talk about that in a couple matches. Um, yeah, so as we take a look at these two sides, we'll start with the Roosters. They only got one win last season. They got the wooden spoon. It was a bit of a straight off the edge, straight off the cliff type of downfall for Matty and his boys. But I'll tell you what, when I look at this side, they're going to be better. They're going to be more competitive this season. Um, I think having Cody Mansell at the one spot, he was one of the standouts for Penrith. So bringing him on, I think is going to be good for their backline, especially in that one spot. You know, it's been a bit of a juggle at the one spot for the Roosters and the halves as well. They've been mixing and matching that throughout last season. So this could be the combo that they stick with. I think it's a relatively same or similar team to what they ran in the preseason. But we take a look at this Dolphins side and what they did last season. You take into consideration the retention rate. So it's going to be relatively the same sort of Dolphins side, very competitive, very dominant. And yeah, I'm backing them to go the way. I think they're going to get the win against the Roosters. I'll have a look what I tipped exactly. But I think the Dolphins are going to get it done. I've gone 9-18. Dolphins to win over Roosters. What did you get, Riley?
I went Finns 1-8, so got a big competition there.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's just,
majority of the
we're
votes are
both going for the
definitely for the
Dolphins there, I think.
Dolphins.
Yeah,
You've
it's
got
almost like
a
people don't have faith in the wooden spooners from last season, which is surprising to me. But they've got a lot of new players in there, a lot of fresh faces. We could be seeing a real new vibe at the Roosters.
yeah. Well, it's nowhere but up, right? I mean, the bar is pretty low,
Exactly. I
so
mean, I mean, I wouldn't say that just yet, Sonny. There's a new team in the league, so there always is one spot lower. But
yeah,
yeah, let's hope that they manage to have a better season last.
yeah. The Roosters they actually went alright in the preseason. They made it to the semi-finals and they lost to the Wars literally in the last minute of the game, and that was a full length of the try, full length of the field try to chance bunts. The bounce, any other game, it could have gone either way, and it could have been a different outlook. But I think the Dolphins are just going to be too strong. What Sneaker has built, fair credit to him. The bloke apparently doesn't even have rugby league life 4 to run sims, and he's out here making finals in his first season as a captain and looking to run it back, especially against the Roosters. We know how much he loves that club, but he is a Dolphin and he'll be looking to make a statement. So that will be the second game on Tuesday evening. Make sure you tune in for that one. And we'll get into the Wednesday games now. And as I do, perfect timing. I've just noticed John Captain Mayava is in the chat with us. So maybe we can get his opinion or get something in the chat there from him. But we'll take a look at the team list for both sides. And it's going to be a big game for both teams, both coming off struggling seasons. And the Panthers now under the new look of John Boy Mayava and his vice captain Lonnie Lawrence. Shout out to him as well in the chat. We'll get into it. We'll take a look at this Panthers side first up. Number 1 at fullback, Riker Manu. Big signing from the Broncos. Can't wait to see what he can do there now that he's found a new home at the foot of the mountains. Number 2 on the left wing. You got to have a Fijian on the left wing if he's on your team. Tavita Vuvalingawa from the Bulldogs. Number 3, another Bulldog as well. Former Bulldog, I should say, left centre. Rawidi Kormene. Number 4, right centre. Ben Cummins. Number 5, right wing. And cult hero for the Panthers, Shaq the Unknown, is back. And he's playing in at the right wing spot. Number 6, in the halves, you've got Charlie Barlow at 5'8". Number 7, Jaden White, former Warrior, now Panther, who was traded last season. And he's there at number 7. In the forwards, you've got number 8, Lockie Sinclair, the former Cowboy. Number 9, Dom Stramandanoli. They're at hooker. Number 10, Rusty Shackelford. Number 11, Callum Elwin. Number 12, Vice Captain Lonnie Lawrence at right second row. And number 13, Jackson Allison to round it off. Off the bench, you've got number 14. Oh, jeez. You've got, forgive me if I botch this pronunciation, you've got Kaleonalani Mahana Olu. Oh, jeez. Apologies again. But you've got him there at 14. Number 15, you've got Justice Daly. Number 16, Hendrik Lin. And one of the interesting decisions of the team list is number 17, their captain, John Boy Mayava, starting in off the bench. So we'll get into that in just a minute. But Riley, we'll let you run through this South Sydney Rabbitohs side.
Yeah, no problem. At over at South Sydney, we've got the one and only Justin Plays over there at the fullback jersey, making his club debut. Exciting stuff for him. Exciting stuff for the club. Very keen to see how he goes. Jai Collins, old faithful, over there on the wing. Then we got, man, this one always kills me. I'm not sure if it's Lachlan Holmes or if it's Laughlin Holmes. Laughlin Holmes
I'm
is a
pretty
bit of a
sure it's
weird
Lachlan
name, so
Holmes.
I hope it's Lachlan Holmes. But man, if that's how you spell Lachlan, I've lost all faith in humanity. Over at the other centre, we got Connor Bruce making his debut. Kevin Dixon over on the other wing. In the halves, we got Callahan or Callaghan, man. I'm not killing it at the moment. And Joey Kelly over at halfback, the captain over there. Good stuff from him. Hoping for big things from his team this season. Moving on to the forwards, we got Matt Downey over at 8. Aaron O'Hare moving into the 9 position, which is very interesting. He's actually moved out of lock to accommodate for Jesse Bennett, which yeah, real surprising, especially with how good of a forward he is, how good of a prop he is. Moving into that 13 role, it can either work great or work terribly. We saw it work well with Malchus. We've seen it work terribly with other people, but we won't go into that. No name dropping here, as we can move on anyways. Aaron Leondis over at 10, Jordan Ford at 11. Talis Roof over at 12. He's a good player. He's been doing it for a few seasons for the Rabbitohs. Keen to see him keep on doing it. We already touched on Bennett there, just at that 13 jersey, moving to lock this season. I'm wondering if it might stay like that. I guess we'll find out in the coming weeks. But moving on to the bench, we got Johnny. Man, I hope that his name's Burgess and not Johnny Nurgis.
Johnny
But
Nurgis. Johnny
Good old
Burgess.
Johnny Nurgis. Yeah. Oh man, I remember having this problem a bit earlier in the week, but
Trust Will
yeah,
to
good
misspell it
old
like
John.
that. I'm joking.
Good old Johnny Nurgis, gotta love him. Felix Stoner over at 15, Jack Sora at 16. Man, I'm losing it at the moment. This South Sydney side is killing me. And at 17, the Blue Tongues faithful, Felix Wilmore Skied.
Oh yeah, we gotta keep it professional here. Oh geez, yeah. When I look at this Rabbitohs side, I like it. I like what Joey's done. I don't think they got too many big name players, but the one that stands out is Justin Plays. He was it was phenomenal for the Broncos last season when they finally decided to stick with him over Raikkonen, and that would have been a tough choice for the Bronx, but they've ended up losing both of them, and one of them has ended up here at the Rabbitohs, and the other one's ended up for the Panthers. So Raikkonen and Justin Plays, that's going to be a great battle of the fullbacks, the two former teammates doing battle. You got Jai Collins and Kevin Dixon to round out your backline, and at the wings, Connor Bruce making his debut. I like the halves pairing with Callaghan and Kelly. I wasn't a fan of Kelly playing in at the halves at the start, but he's sticking with it now. So um, yeah, he was actually he did all right there. He didn't do too bad. So get a couple more seasons under his belt, and I'm sure he'll be one of the best to come in that position. But Matt Downey, Aaron Leondis through the middle, O'Hare at hooker. Um, Surprised to see Felix Windmill skied on the bench. He was a starter last season for them, but he's going to play a utility role, so that adds a lot of depth for them. Jordan Ford, I think he was a former Cowboy. They're at left second row with Talis Riff and Jesse Bennett at lock, which is going to be huge. I think Jesse Bennett should be their lock forward. He's probably their best forward, so he's the one you want. That's the focal point of the forwards. But we look at this Panthers side, and I'll tell you what, John Boy didn't do too bad of a job with his recruitment. He got a lot of big names here: Rakamanu, Tavita, Komene as well, and he brought in Lockie Sinclair. Shout out to my boy Sinclair. He's finally free from North Queensland, man. They had him on 18 minutes off the bench. You can't do that to a gold prop forward. But he's found a new home, and I'm glad to see him return back to the Panthers. He's a former Panther, so it's good to see him back there. Dom Stram, he's back in new colours for the Penrith Panthers. They're at hooker. I haven't seen him play any hooker in my time I think he's just been predominantly in the halves, if I'm not mistaken. But I mean, he's still a good player nonetheless. He's been around for a while. You've got Lonnie Lawrence there now. See, that's the biggest question mark for me. This Lonnie Lawrence block. I'm joking. I'm joking. I love the forward pack that the Panthers got. Callum Irwin there at 11 with Allison at 13. I think that's the right move. The only move I question is John Boy coming off the bench. I feel like he needs to be out there for the full 80. But the one thing I like about this move is he's not afraid to be selfless and let the other boys have a run. But yeah, your thoughts, Riley? Your thoughts on this Panthers side?
I think that John Boy is either crazy or Lonnie has some sort of dirt on him that he doesn't want us to know about him, making him to play off the bench. I think it's crazy. John Boy, you gotta be out there, be there for your boys. You can't just be out here rotting on the bench all game. Who cares about being selfless or whatever? Get out there and do some work. And I want to point out, when you think about it, virtually the Broncos and South Sydney have basically done player swaps for their fullback swaps. And just a little question for you, Sonny. Who do you think won the fullback swap? Who do you think ended up with the better one in the end?
Ooh,
Justin Plays or Tyron Clay? Who do you think is the better player? Who do you think succeeded the most from this trade?
I like Justin when they settled on him at fullback. I think he was one of the standouts for the Bronx. So I think it's a good acquisition for the Rabbitohs, especially when you have to replace Tyron Clay. Um, I kind of say it's like the same. I kind of rate Justin and Tyrone Clay sort of the same. It's hard to differentiate between the two, but I think given that Justin Plays is coming from a finals team, and he was the one that won that battle of the fullback jersey out of him and Riker Manu, I think Plays and Manu Plays was probably the best when you talk about form. But I've always rated Riker. I think he just needs continuity and stability in the team wherever he ends up at, and he's ended up at Penrith. So yeah, I can't wait to see him get back to his form and really thrive there at the one jersey. We'll take a look at the Muzz bets. Um, John Boy, you might want to close your ears for this part. You too, Lonnie. Because I don't think I went with the Panthers. I've actually gone with the Rabbitohs 1-18. Um, I don't know why I went Rabbitohs 1-18. I know it's going to be close, so I probably just went coin flip sort of deal and just picked one or the other. But yeah, Muzz, who did you go? Who did you tip?
Well, um, look, the Panthers might think that I'm their biggest hater. I'm actually their biggest lover. I love the Panthers. I've always loved the Panthers. Love my boy John Boy as well. Love Lonnie. So I thought I'd just back the boys and go Rabbitohs. No, I'm kidding. I've gone Panthers 1-8. Gotta have faith in them. Hopefully, John Boy's boys can get them done. I'm not actually choosing sides here. I don't care who wins. I have no stake in this game at all. Definitely don't have 50 coins on the line. But yeah, Panthers is that's who I've gone with, and I guess we'll see. Hopefully the boys can do a good job here.
Yeah, the majority of punters going with the Panthers 1-8, 71 votes, 51% of punters jumping on Panthers 1-8. So the Panthers are rated as the favourites for this one, and that's going to be huge for their season opening game. The new look era of the new Pacifica Panthers, you could even call them, with John Boy and Lonnie Lawrence there. But Joey Kelly is taken over as a full-time captain. About time. He's been holding that interim tag for 2 seasons now. So we finally get to see what he can do when he's got a full season of ahead of him as captain and a full preseason to recruit and get the team that he wants. But yeah, we'll move on and we'll get to the final game of Wednesday, round one, and it'll be one of the battles of all time. These two, a lot of history between them in recent seasons. It'll be the Cronulla Sharks, the mighty Sharkies, taking on the grand final runners up of last season, the Melbourne Storm. And what a huge battle that's going to be at Shark Park. Wednesday, 6 p.m. Australian Eastern Daylight Time. We'll take a look at the lineups. I'll start with the Sharks. Number one, fullback now on the Nahana Borden Thompson. Number 2, left wing, Thomas Usher, making the move from centres to wing. So I'm very keen to see how he goes there. Number 3, you've got Cade Cowan. Number 4, right centre, you've got Jake Hitchens. And number 5, right wing, you've got Michael Crimp. In the halves, you've got number 6, captain Sonny Tyre. We've got to talk about that Musbet very soon. Number 7, we've got halfback Anthony Delaney. In the forwards, number 8, Justin Barisic. Number 9, hooker Drew Matthews. Number 10, front rower Sabatua. Number 11, left second row Jamal Kosako. Number 12, right second row Bobby Werman. And Luke Malkus. Number 13, rounding off the lock spot. Off the bench, you've got 14, Chris Wakabayashi. 15, Nathan Walsh, making his first grade debut. On your Nathan. 16, you've got Jack Anderson. Oh, jeez. And 17, you've got.
This is 17, Sonny.
You've got. One of the most. Oh man, I'm gonna miss this guy. Number 17, Lecky Tour, playing in his farewell game. We'll get to that in a minute. But Riley, I'll let you go through this Melbourne Storm team list.
Yeah, well, Sonny, I really don't think you have much to worry about. I'm sure if he doesn't upgrade, he'll probably be back just a few days later. Like, nothing to worry about. You definitely shouldn't drop him. Nothing to worry about there, mate. So,
Oh no.
yeah, we won't even dwell on it because it'll be silly to just drop him before you have to. Anyways, moving on to the Melbourne Storm, we got the one and only Corey Bell. He's been doing it at Melbourne for so long. He does it better than most. Man, he's just a great fullback. And very keen to see him do another season, just getting through that work. He's a great player. Over at number 2, Kobe Kelly. He's back at the Storm, back and better than ever. He went back to the Cowboys. He's been going Cowboys, Storm at the moment. So next season we'll probably see him back at the Cowboys, to be honest. Moving over to the centers, we got Cruz Spencer. Love Cruz Spencer, big fan of him. Finally got in that starting role. We got Jack Jimmy as well in that center. He's been moved back to center from the wing to accommodate for Kobe Kelly. Over at wing, we have Maverick Oldfield. He's really made that wing his home for the last few seasons. Great player. And I imagine we'll see him there for quite a while longer as well. 5'8", TBK, the one and only. He's actually moved there from halfback. And we'll see how he goes. He's probably going to be making quite the impact here. So I'm keen to see it. Then, number 7, halfback, we got Matty Johns making his debut. Big raps for this guy. Very keen to see how he goes. Number 8, Ryan Wilmot, Blue Tongue legend there. Just, gonna get through work. He's been moved to this 8 position. A lot of faith being put in him by Captain Will Kay. Keen to see how he goes. Then we got James Thorne, the one and only, over in that hooker position. Number 10, we got Mason Remy. Just really found a home in this Storm side. Very keen to see him just keep on getting through that work. I'm a big fan of Mason Remy. Over at 11, Logan Guys. He's another one of these people who've just made Melbourne his home. Very big fan of him. Number 12, Phoenix Murphy. Just another great player. Made his way into the starting side finally for the Storm. Big raps on this guy. Will Kay, not even sure who he is. Let's just move past him. Number 14, Manu Fa'afili. No, I'm kidding. Will Kay, big guy. Great player. MVP medalist. Do I need to say more? Back to
No,
the bench
you don't
again.
need to say no more.
After Manu Fa'afili, who's also a great player. We've also got Hops Good. We'll move on after that now. Kane Nielsen at 16 and equipped with it as well, making his debut. He's been brought up from the Eels, I believe, from the Mines. So Hops Good, big fan. Great player.
Boo, nah, jokes. Yeah, it's pretty much the same look from what the Storm fielded last season. They've gotten Matty Johns and they've put him into the half spot at halfback. He's been around in the SRL. I think he even played for the Parramatta Eels at one point when they were still around. Or maybe I just botched that one. But Manu Fa'afili off the bench. Don't do my uso like that, man. Come on. Look, nah, I'm sure he doesn't care. Like, he's a Storm diehard, so he'll probably just play wherever Will wants him to play. But yeah, for the Sharkies, look, we'll get into it. Lecky Tour. Let's just rip the band-aid off right now. Tuma also, if you're listening, bro, I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry, bro. I didn't think you were coming back. I thought you disappeared off the face of the earth. And then, albeit come today, this morning, as we record this, he actually messaged me and said that he lost his account, but he's back now. And I couldn't exert my co-commissioner power to try and get him back on the team. But yeah, that would have been tough either way because then I would have had to drop the signing that we've got now, Christian Bakajalupi. So
Bachigalupi, Sonny. Come on, he's your own player
Bakajalupi.
now. You gotta learn how to say
Yeah, yeah, yeah. You know what? It's we're still getting to know each other. I'm still
it.
recovering over this Lecky Tour situation, but yeah, that's gonna be tough for us because now we're gonna go a whole season with just 6 silvers instead of 7. But it could be worse. We could be Canberra and only have 5, so maybe there's not too much for me
Ouch.
to complain
Burn.
about. And yeah, let this be a lesson to all the captains. Don't wait or don't bite the bullet too early. Wait it out right till the end until you have to let him go. And yeah, then you'll be able to keep the players that you were planning to have. But nonetheless, I'm still wrapped that we've got Justin Barisic to cover in. Um, so yeah, forward pack, we're gonna be good. Off the bench, it's not gonna be as good without having Lecky, but Christian's gonna do a job. I'm more than confident of that. So I can't wait to see him dig in. But anyways, enough dribbling here. Enough of me feeling sorry for myself. We'll go to the Muzbets and the weekly tips. Obviously, it's no surprise who I've taken, but we'll take a look at what the punters have gone. I think I've gone Sharks. Yeah, I've gone Sharks 9-18. Um, Muzz, I'm already assuming you went Storm 9-18.
No, I had to back the boys. I went for Storm 1-8 actually though. You guys are a good team. I reckon it'll be very close, but I had to back my boys at the end. Still got a lot of history there, a lot of mates down there. I
They're not your
not
boys
really,
anymore.
don't really like
Do you
anyone
know
at the
what they've been
store at
saying
the
about you?
Sharks actually. I gotta say, I'm not a big fan of anyone from the Sharks. I don't really. No one comes to mind when I think of anyone that's my friend from there. But no, I'm kidding. It's gonna be a real good one. I hope. We won't talk about the Muzbet 3. Actually, we will a little bit. Sunny Tyre
Oh no.
needs to make no errors in this game to make his fans happy. I'm pretty sure Lonnie Lawrence is actually one of those fans who have put his money on the line for Sunny. Um,
Oh jeez, I
Sunny, how you feeling about
apologize.
that?
I apologize in advance, Lonnie. Thank you for showing faith, but oh jeez, yeah. Majority of punters going in Storm 9-18, 78 votes. So Melbourne are the favourites for this one. Given that they are the grand finalists as well, it's not really any surprise. We'll get into the Muzz bets. So offer one, Tigers to win their inaugural game in round one, and we've got 16 punters on that one. I'm surprised it's not more, to be honest, but maybe it's because it's been outshined by this next offer up here from Muzbet. Number 2, Sneeko Bro to run 80 plus meters. The big Dolphins captain, and he's got 51 votes, 51 punters relying on him to get that done. So a lot of pressure on his shoulders as well. But we get to this, in my opinion, the most stupid offer of the Muzbet that has ever existed. It's Sonny Tyre to not make any errors in round one. We've got 12 punters on there. I'll just quickly go through the list. A big shout out to these loyal punters who've jumped on it. Lonnie Lawrence, Jake Hitchens, Tane Rongomoy Hawani, Milo Kerrigan, Jack White, Coven Walmsley, Jacob Morrison, Anthony Delaney, Anthony Lee, Paddy Cochran, James Thorne, and Lincoln Riggle. Muzz, let me ask you about this Muzz bit here. What did I do to you to deserve this, mate? Well, what's going on
Sonny, it's come from a place of love. You know,
here?
as that seems to
You've
be
got a funny way of showing
what
it.
you're not picking up here. It comes from a place of love. I just have so much faith in you that I believe that you will come in for the boys and you'll make no errors and the whole league will love you. Everyone will be like, "Yeah, Sonny Tiger, I love you." And yeah, I believe that's what's gonna happen if my hypothesis is correct. What's the chances of you even making an error anyways? Like, let's be honest, you're not gonna make an error, Sonny. You're making a big thing out of nothing. We all know that you're just gonna have a flawless game here.
Well, we're gonna have words after this, buddy. Let me tell you that. Look, I appreciate everyone that's jumped on it, But please do not come for my neck and send me death threats in the DMs if this does not get through. Because if you have not watched any game that Sonny Ty has played in, you gotta realize this is 1,000 to 1 odds. If we had to put it in odds, it's 1,000 to 1 to hit. So if you're comfortable with eating noodles for the rest of the week until the next Muzbets, then be my guest. But I'll try not to let anyone down who's jumped on it. Riley stitched me up and set me up for failure here, but yeah, I'll be I'll be shattered if I let the boys down again, and yeah, I won't try and jinx myself. But those are your Muzbets, and that is the round one preview. Do we have anything else to talk about? I feel like we're missing something.
We could ask the people in the live right now their opinions on things,
Oh yeah, let's go.
or maybe get them
Um,
to ask some questions.
yeah. So if you're in the chat right now, type up your question, and me, or even if you just got a comment or whatever, me and Muzz will yeah, we'll get to it. Any questions in the chat? W's in the chat. Anyways, question from Anthony
MVP
McDonald.
winner of season 9.
Ooh,
Oh, that's a hard one. That's what she said. Um,
come.
oh,
This
that's a
is
difficult.
this is
That's
family
a
friendly. Come on.
my bad. Man, that's a hard
Oh,
one. Pardon my double entendres. uh,
bro, get your mind out of the gutter, mate. Come on.
you gotta say Will K's he's a easy bet. He's like the safe bet, I'd say. Going back to back here, he always gets the work done over in the middle at that lock position. I feel like I'm somehow thinking that we might see a fullback get it though. I have a lot of faith in Eli Barnes, but never know. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna say we're gonna get the first ever half SimVP. Sione Matthews getting that SimVP. Let's get it.
Oh, that's a big shout. Sonny Matos. Geez, I don't know who I'd go. If Damien Moana plays himself out lock for this season and the dogs go far, I have a feeling that he could take it. Um, and I've got to back my boy Malchus. You know, I think he was hard done by last season, but I'm not gonna cry over it. You know, but I think this season he's gonna break out and really just assert himself, get him the first MVP. He's been here since season one. He's an absolute machine. So I think this will be the season that we put some respect on his name. We'll get to the next question. KCK, haven't heard you talk about my boys. Haha, due to the bye. That's
I
right.
don't
Yeah,
think
I
that's a
forgot.
question, Sonny. I
Oh,
don't
it's a
think that's a
statement.
question. But also on the winner of the SimVP in season 9, if we're thinking even more inside the box, I actually think that KCK is a real good chance. I'm a big KCK fan. I think if he gets the chance and he just plays some consistent footy and keeps on getting them points, I reckon he's got it in the bag. Like he's one of the greatest fullbacks I think we've seen in the league. I'm a big fan of him. I reckon he can get it done. If anyone else can't.
Yeah, I'm a big KCK guy too, especially when he made the move to Pacifica. Shout out to you, Kane. You're an absolute legend, mate. And I'd actually love to see him win Sim VP. You know, us oldies from the season one, we're running out of time here, so it'd be good to see a season one OG get across. And we'll quickly talk about this Manly side. They impressed in the preseason. They held their own against the Roosters. I think it was in the first game. Oh no, it wasn't the Roosters. It was someone. Geez, how good am I on the ball? But yeah, look, they've relatively kept the same team. They've got a new captain in Ruben Mobbs. He's brought on a couple new faces, Mark Iron, Jason Farah. Um, I think Rex Buckingham as well. I'm not too sure on that one, but they've got the center
No,
of the
he's a
season.
faithful. He's been there for a while.
Ah, well, there you go. See, I know nothing. But they've got Dom Young, and that's one thing I do know. They've got the Dom Bomb, who is he's one of my favorite characters in the SRL. I'll tell you that. I love his content, and you know, I love seeing him around. Um, but yeah, you know, the Seagulls. I wouldn't be surprised if they make the finals because they upset a lot of. Well, is upset the right word? They shocked a lot of people. They were underrated underdogs from last season, and as long as you got KCK there, you know they're always going to be competitive. So I'm backing them to make the 8. I think they're going to be in for a good one. We'll move on. Rookie of the year. Who's winning Rookie of the year?
Oof, is this a Riley question? Um, Man, that's a difficult one. I think that it's hard because I don't think there are many rookies who are getting real big positions. I want to back my own boys, Jeff Keane and Nathan Haas, but I think they know what they're in for. They're not going to be getting the greatest game time ever. Um, I think, oh man, it's definitely hard for me to say. I think maybe Cruz Spencer. I reckon he might get it.
Yeah, geez, I'm not even familiar with who's rookies. We just read through the bloody team list. Um, I'm interested to see how many minutes Tony Tornahy plays. I think Carl Lewis, if he gets good minutes, he could be a shout as well. Um, it could be an outside back. It could be a center. It could be the likes of a Cade Cowan or maybe a Tavita Palangi, I think, or Latrell Bolt. But yeah, I'm just not too familiar with the rookies, so I'll keep an eye out, and maybe we can get back to that question down the line. Um, John Captain, my other question: can you tell my missus to let me out to watch our game on Wednesday? Oh no, damn, free my boy. Uh,
Do you
we'll
need me to
send
send a DM, John boy?
we'll send
We'll
a
we'll get Will
commissioner's
to
letter.
send a DM.
We'll send a commissioner's letter. You can take the day off work as well if you got work. We'll move on. Um, any more questions? I think we got through them. Oh wait,
I
wait.
know Lonnie Lawrence is asking if he's going to score a try. The easy answer is no. You will not score a try this season. Um, on to the next one. It's
Straight
I
like
think
that.
that's. Oh wait, no. AMAC. Will there be a noticeable impact with the old boys only upgrading +1 this season? I
Ooh,
think there might be. I think it's not going to be an impact. I think it's just going to be a slow burn. We're slowly going to see younger players just start to outshine the older players. I don't think that we're going to see teams get absolutely demolished because people are in +1s. But yeah, I think that we're just going to see the young blokes start to make a real impact in the league.
yeah, especially with all. See, you youngins, you don't realize how good you've got it. You know, back in my days, back in me and Casey K's days, you know, there was none of this Patreon, there was none of this plus. Nah, all jokes aside, yeah, when you actually pay attention to some of the players and their development and how fast that they've increased their overalls, they're getting up there. Like, there's players that are really catching up. Guys like Witty Komene, I think he's only been in 2-3 seasons. He's already like 72 overall. A lot of that
Have you
does have
seen
to.
me, Sonny?
Oh, what are you rated?
I'm at 74 right now.
Oh, jeez. I'll tell you what.
I'm
You know
I
what?
I reckon by the end of this season I'll probably be a gold.
Oh man, nah, yeah, you youngins, you've got it good nowadays, don't you? But it's good
Yeah, I
because you know
mean the
there's.
people who've joined right now, like the last season or two, they are gonna be like the greatest players in SRL history. They're gonna be better than any of us. So that's something to look forward to.
Yeah, this is the time you want to join SRL now. Um, and yeah, as us oldies get older and wither away, the new gen they're gonna step up and take over, and we're gonna see a changing of the guard. You know, we're gonna go from talking about guys like Dingo, Bunsey, Barnes, Casey K, Tim James, Luke Malkus, Sonny Tyre, even. I mean, you oh man, I couldn't sneak that one
I
back
mean, wait,
down.
were we talking about him before or?
But in all seriousness, we're gonna see these new names come up, the likes of yourself, guys like Rakamanu, John Boy, Lonnie, you know, Tony Tornahy, you know, with the right guidance, him being a vice captain. We're gonna see all these blokes step up, and yeah, they could take it to the next level. You know, at the moment, I think Luke Malkus is 85, 84. I'm sure he might be 85. But we could see that next gen hit the 90s mark, and who knows, maybe even try and max out to 99. That'd be crazy. But we'll have to wait and see how that all go. How that all goes. I'm doing the Rock there, doing the Rock Johnson. Another question as we scroll down. Lonnie Lawrence, do you both personally think that there will be any upsets over this season? Um,
Yes, I think
100%.
yeah. Yeah, there's always upsets. I mean, Like, are you talking like in terms of the ladder at the end of the season, or just like in random games? Like, do you think that the favorite's gonna win every single game this season? In the ladder, okay. Yeah, yeah, of course. Like, if oh, I shouldn't say anything because then people get mad. But yeah, I do think that a lot of people who are favorites aren't going to go as well as other people think. Just because a lot of people are real not locked in, and I'm like super locked in right now, and I know exactly where everyone's gonna place at the end of the season.
The righteous one, Riley Murray. Um, yeah, that there will be upsets. If we're talking in terms of teams that are projected to, do well and not make the finals, let's say. Um, I'd hate to throw my boys under the bus, but the Lecky Tour situation is tough. We're going without a silver, but I'm still confident. Like our starting 13 is good. The bench, they're on minimal minutes, so I don't think that'll have too much impact. If we go off preseason form, we did alright too. So I think Sharks will do okay. I think for the Panthers, I think they'll do better than what they did last season. I like what John Boy's done. Um, I don't know if they'll make the eight. I'm just being real here. Don't shoot the messenger. I don't know if they'll make the eight, but I can see them making the eight. Um, SRL is a crazy game. You can spend hours doing sims, and all it takes is that one game where it just doesn't go your way. It could be a bounce of the ball, it could be a knock-on call, miss call, and you never know how it plays out. No one could have expected outside the minor premiership race would have been last season. Um, I think the Roosters will do better. They've got to do better than one win, right? Like that's just got to be a given. Maybe two wins, and that'll that could be them. But yeah. Outside of that, I'd love to see some upsets. I'd love to see underdog teams get in the eight. I think Manly just continues to fly under the radar, and I think they're going to be a team that just surprises everyone again. It's something about them. I don't know what it is, but they just know how to win and get it done. Um, but yeah, that's my opinion on that one. We'll go to the next one from the great Johnny Mayava. Who do we think will be the biggest disappointment this year, and who is the most overrated side? Actually, no, sorry, I missed the question. KCK, my bad, mate. Thoughts on the Manly Dynasty starters retirement next season, aka Harris/Chapman Kenny combo?
Well, are you two planning on both going back to Manly for your new players, or is that, or are you? I don't know. I don't understand.
I think he's saying thoughts on them retiring because they're Manly's Dynasty players and
Oh, okay.
retiring next season.
Yeah, it's like the end of an era, I guess. I was not here, like in the league when they were actually at their best. I think I just caught their last premiership, just when I joined. But besides that, I missed a lot of their greatness, I guess you could say. Um, yeah, the fact you guys are retiring next season, it's definitely going to be a huge change in the league. Missing two of these star players who've been around since the beginning, like it's gonna definitely make an impact on the league.
Yeah, I think like KCK and Matty, they don't really get the recognition for that run. Um, what did they win? Like 3 rings with Manly. They could have won a
Yeah.
fourth as well against the Raiders, but yeah, I think they kind of go underappreciated when we talk about that. And look, maybe it's gonna take for them to like retire, sort of thing, and then people were like, "Oh, remember that old Manly team from back in the days?" Like, they were one of the best teams in the SRL. It's how it is sometimes. You don't know what you got until it's gone. So I think we're gonna miss um, those players once they do go. Hopefully they get the new gens going so we can keep them around. But yeah, it's gonna be a bit of a bittersweet note. Opportunities will open up for younger players. For rep duties and that sort of thing. Um, but yeah, it'll definitely be something we can look back on. No one can ever take what Manly's done, what they accomplished. A lot of people like to take the mick and say, "Oh, it was Mickey Mouse, this and that." No salary caps, whatever. But when it comes to competitive, when it comes to results, they got it done. So you can't take that away from them. And yeah, hopefully the KCK and Matty can finish off strong in their seasons. They're not playing for the Sharks, so I'm not backing them to go all the way. But if it's not us that goes all the way, I'd love to see one of them make a deep run in the finals, potentially to the grand final. But we'll move on now. We'll round off the questions. Maybe we'll take in one or two more, and then we'll finish up here because we're like an hour and 15 minutes into it.
We're
So
dragging. We're dragging.
yeah, we'll go another 15 minutes at the max, and then we'll let you go and stop listening to our dribble. But we'll thank everyone that's tuned in so far, and we'll get to these last few questions. John Boy Mayava, who do we think will be the biggest disappointment this year? Who is the most overrated side? And as a further addendum, that's too much English for me. Any further thoughts on the old Matty Harris special on off the bench? Biggest disappointment this year. Who do we think that's gonna be?
I don't want to say it. It's not. It's not gonna
Does
end
it
in
start
people
with
being happy with me.
Does it start with
So I'm
Cry
not. No,
and
no.
end in
I'm not
Nala?
even gonna tell you what it starts with. I'm not gonna even. I'm not gonna tell you anything. But I do have someone in mind. I'm not gonna say it because it's just gonna make people hate me. And I'm kind of over that. Turn a new leaf. We're happy now. No, it's
Is
not
it the
Tigers,
Storm?
KCK.
Is it the
You
Storm?
silly bugger. No, no, stop. All right. Most overrated side. This is also gonna get me hate, but I feel like this isn't as rude of a question. I'd probably say it's the Warriors. I said it
Ooh,
in their in my forward pack analysis thing that I got a lot of hate over. My forward pack rankings, I think that I had them like last or close to last. I think that their forward pack is very weak.
that's crazy. No way you had
Um,
them
I'm g-
last.
I I think it was either last or close to last. They lost
Do
Ango
elaborate.
and Barner.
Do elaborate.
Okay, they lost Ango and Barner. Their bench is just basically full of rookies. Nothing great there. And oh man, Jai's gonna kill me. They just need time. They need time for these people on the bench and these starters to really, hold their own. I think at the moment they're very inexperienced in the forwards. The only real like experienced players that they got there is Corker and DTA and Strange, I'd say. Other than that, they just seem to really lack a lot of punch in the props and the prop rotations as well.
Yeah, nah, that's fair enough. That's only your opinion. Hate in the SRL? You're kidding me, right? No way.
You kidding?
Just for your
Kidding?
opinion? Nah, I'm joking. I think the most disappointing side is going to be the Raiders. They're only fielding 5 silvers. They struggled with recruitment. Um, the thing is, they do have a lot of. They're like a pretty well balanced team. They've got a lot of bronzes there that are up in the 67, 69 sort of area. Nice. Um, but I think the Raiders are probably going to be the ones to struggle. When you've got teams that are fielding 7 silvers, and you look at the overalls, likes of the Storm, the Dogs. Yeah, I think when you look on paper, the Raiders are probably going to struggle. They might even win the spoon. For their sake, I hope they don't. But someone has to. And if I had to put money on it, it'd probably be Canberra, just off that fact alone. But anything can happen. So we'll see how that all plays out. We'll get to the next question. Oh, and any further thoughts on the old Matty Harris special off the bench? Look, if you're a big prop forward or a forward, and you play yourself at fullback in the second half, go watch that Roosters Manly game, and that'll kind of give you an indication of how that will go. But if you're, say, a half or like a back, if you're doing the Myava, for example, and you're coming off the bench, slotting into fullback, then you're gonna be well off.
John Boy, can I give you my advice? Don't copy the strats of a team that just won the goddamn spoon. Why are you coming off the bench? Start yourself. I swear. If you don't start putting yourself in the starting side, I swear I'm gonna lose it. I'm gonna
Yeah,
I'm
John
gonna
Boy.
come for you, John Boy.
Look, we'll see how the first game goes. That'll give us an idea of how that system works. I actually like that Myava's done this. It's selfless. It shows
I
that.
hate it. It's not selfless. It's bloody. It's so dumb.
Well, you're a
But
stat padder,
start
Riley, so
yourself.
it's different. John Boy puts
Stat
the
pad,
team first.
John
He's all
Boy.
about the
John
glory.
Boy, just stat pad, brother. Your team
No,
needs
no
you.
man above
Get
the
out there.
team. No man above the team. That's his mentality, and I respect it. But I think, yeah, he's gonna have to start 80 minutes. I mean, if you're the captain, you got to be out there. Um, it's even worse when you're off, like on the bench. Like, say you're playing lock and you come off at the 65, and then you got to watch on and know that you're not out there on the field. It's kind of it's like a helpless feeling, you know. But we'll see how it goes. Obviously, John Boy, he's done his prep, and who knows, maybe we've seen something that no one else has seen. So only time will tell how that goes down. But I'm wishing him all the best. We'll keep going through these questions. Lonnie Lawrence question: um, do you see a team in the near future becoming similar to the dominance of the Manly dynasty? Hey, that's a good question, Lonnie. Shout out to you. Um, I think the Storm are kind of become that sort of team. Um, you know, they won the grand final season 7. They made grand final last season. Um, they're probably destined for another big run into the finals. So you could probably put the Storm out there. You could put the Dogs out there. Um, they finished in the top 4 in season 7. They made finals last season and went all the way to win the grand final. So they've been accustomed to success. I think they made it to prelims as well in their first season. So I think if we're talking modern dynasties, I think the Storm and the Dogs would be the two.
I'd say the Bulldogs are probably not the Bulldogs, the Sharks. They're probably a little bit off. They need to win their first finals game before they can start a dynasty. But I'm sorry, Sonny. I'll stop now.
Of all the
But
teams, mate, of all
yeah,
the
you
teams.
look. The minor premiership is a great start. I mean, they've just lost Lecky Tua, but I'm sure that they can come back from that. I mean, how much of an impact can Lecky Tua even have? Let's be real. I'm sure that they'll be
If you ever
fine.
try to sign him, I'm gonna play what you just said. Like, hey, this is what he really thinks he is. No,
It's
I do
okay, Lecky.
appreciate
I
the
was
kind
just doing
words
it
though.
to help his feelings.
I do appreciate
Please,
the kind
Lecky.
words though. Yeah, hopefully the Sharkies can go up there. I'm confidently backing us. Um, losing Lecky isn't ideal, obviously, but we're gonna get on with it. And I think the players that we do have, they've got enough to carry that sort of burden of not having that extra silver player. So hopefully we can get up there. That'll be nice. That'll be good. Um, we'll go down. Any more questions? Let me have a look here. Oh, here's a good question from Anthony McDonald. Next expansion team. Oh, do
I
we
think.
peel the curtain back a little bit on that?
Well, I don't think that we really have it set, do we? We'll just say what we would prefer to have, what we think should be the next expansion team, because I have a team in mind, and
Well,
it's
there's
not
only two.
Parramatta.
Yeah. So
It's not
yeah.
Parramatta, so do the math.
Nah, AMAC, look, this isn't like in concrete. This is like what I'd like to do, but we haven't really sort of gotten into expansion talks for next season yet. But ideally, I'd like the league to go to full 17 by next season. Being that it's season 10, I think it's going to be the fourth year of SRL. I feel like we should get the
Sonny
full league
also
out.
wants to kill the mines as well, so
Oh, no. Let me explain. Let me
take
explain.
what he says with a grain of salt. He doesn't care about the
Listen,
mines. He
listen,
wants them to die
mate.
again.
You know how much of an impact I played when I played in the mines. Okay, you know I got a bit of a soft spot for the mines. Nah, but I think we got to bite the bullet. I think get the full 17, and whoever we have left over, we start building the mines from there. And from then, all we have to do is focus on the mines. But it all depends on numbers, like Riley said. If we don't have the numbers, or if it risks putting the mines comp into a hole like we did a couple seasons ago, then we probably won't go through with the expansion. So it all depends on interest. It all depends on if we get the numbers, if we can have a sustainable mines comp and expansion, then yeah, that's the go. But if I had to choose, I'd probably go Dragons. if we had to choose one expansion team, it'd be the Dragons, and then we leave Parramatta for last. I think that would be the way we go. But I'd
In
love
fact, we
to.
might even just bring in the Bears before Parramatta as well, just for the hell of it.
Hey, since we're on this, let me have a quick question for the people in the chat right now. Would you like to see a so let's say we had 17 teams in the league. We had a full league. Would you like to see the 17th spot become a promotion slash relegation spot? Because we've heard the talks of the new PNG team, the new New Zealand team, a Perth team, that sort of thing, the Bears and whatnot. Would you guys be on board with having promotion relegation for the wooden spoon spot? Or do you think we got to keep it separate and just keep it as it is, keep it true to, I guess, the NRL, and yeah, not do promotion relegation? Let us know what you think on that. We'll scroll down to it when we get some comments in there. But
Me
if this,
personally, I don't like the promotion relegation. I think I like how it is. I'm not a big fan of change. I would hate to see some of the teams that we got here get relegated so that the bloody northeast Jamaican jolters get in the league, like something like
where
that,
did
you know.
that come from?
I don't know, like the Guangdong Tigers. I don't want to see him in the league, you know. Don't really want them to be promoted.
The British Exiles.
It's not. Yeah, if they get into the league, I think I'd just have to give up at that point. I'm not a big fan of it. I don't really like it. But it's at the end of the day, it's a ways away. It's not something to worry about just yet.
Yeah, it's still, geez, probably not even 5 seasons, maybe more. So, I think the priority is just
Maybe
getting a
maybe
full
10
17.
seasons.
Maybe that. Maybe I don't
Maybe
even know if
20
we'll go to
seasons.
that long. Hopefully, we got
Sonny
rugby league live
Will
5
K
by then.
might die of a stroke by then. He might be gone.
Touch wood. Hope that doesn't happen. Um, how would promo relegation work? Yeah, we haven't really looked into it too much. It sort of work like, so the team that finishes last in first grade will do battle with the team that's in the second grade in a promotion playoff, and whoever wins that would get that 17th spot in the SRL. I think with expansion just around the corner for the NRL as they introduce these new teams, it could be a way for us to sort of have that sort of like expansion team, but not really mess around with first grade too much. It'd be one team, and it'd be out of those teams like your PNG side, your New Zealand South Island Chaos side, your Perth side. But yeah, like Riley said, it's something that's way down the line. We just want to get opinions nice and early, so we can keep it in mind for the future. Um, but that's just way down the line. So bit of a tease there for you guys. Some of the things we've been speaking about behind closed doors. But yeah, that's all the questions. So um, first of all, we want to thank everyone that's tuned in for tonight's first episode of the Commissioner's Lounge Potty. A lot of hype and excitement around round one, kicking off tomorrow, or if you're listening to this on YouTube, it'll be kicking off today. Get into the SRL Discord, check the channels, SRL TV and whatnot, to stay up to date with the fixtures and the times, all that good stuff. Riley, any last words before we sign out?
I don't think so. Just thank you for all sticking around for this long. Shout out to the supporters who've been here for the entire dribble session for about an hour and a half, I think.
Real ones, real ones.
No shout out to Snicko Bro who actually left after the first couple minutes.
Yeah, he just wanted to hear the
Not a real
Dolphins
one.
and then he just dipped
He
off.
just he left after he heard the Dolphins. Bit of a dog act, but yeah, shout out to AMAC, John Boy, Kaya Foa, Carl Lewis, Lonnie Lawrence, my boy KCK as well.
Yeah, and a big thank you for your money as well for the pitch. No, I'm joking. Nah, we
All
really
right.
do appreciate your guys' support. You really help keep the SRL pumping. You're part of the team. You help us bring all this new content. It's gonna be a new look production for season 9, so it's gonna have a new feeling to it. A lot of hype around it. Sneako's just joined us, but we're signing off now. And my apologies as well for not getting the lads that's in here with mics to come and jump in the convo. Um, I just forgot. So next time we do this, should be next week. We'll get the captains on. We'll get guys like Amac, Mayava, Sneaker to jump on, give us their opinions and stuff after round one. So I think it'll be better that way. They'll have a bit of a gauge to work off their results, and even get KCK up in here. He'll be playing his first game next week. The Seagulls will kick off their season. But yeah, enough dribbling. Thank you again for tuning in to the Commissioner's Lounge Potty. I'm Sonny Tyre, here with my good mate Riley Murray. Thank you all once again, and we will see you on SRL TV for the kickoff of Season 9, Round 1. It'll be the Tigers and the Broncos at 5 p.m. Australian Eastern Daylight Time at Leichhardt Oval. We'll see you then.